video will discuss treatises. A treatise is just a fancy word for book. In a law collection, treatises are secondary source materials. They provide subject-specific, in-depth information and will lead you to primary source materials such as case law and statutes. They will provide more information than an encyclopedia entry. Treatises in our collection are findable using the HC-PLC catalog. They are grouped on the shelves by subject area, so you can browse the shelves as well. For example, employment law resources are shelved together, bankruptcy materials are grouped together, and so on and so forth. Our collection has treatises that are broad in scope and cover examples from other states. We also have more narrow, Florida-specific treatises, which will have examples and citations specific to this state. For our research problem regarding the willing of a $10 million estate to a dog, I've pulled some books from our collection to look through. Let's first look at some of the general books regarding this subject area. Bogart's Law of Trusts and Trustees. This is a multi-volume set published by Thomson Reuters West. These books are hardbound and are updated with pocket parts once a year. This set explains the use of trusts and shows how to plan an estate, along with various uses of trusts in personal estate planning. This set does contain forms, but they will be very general and not specific to Florida. We will provide future videos regarding how to find legal forms. If you do not yet have any citations for this title, you will need to use the index in your list of terms to see if there is any helpful information for your research project. Since we do not have any specific citations to find information, we will need to look at the index. Looking at the index and using our list of terms, let's look at the part of the research issue where if there are no surviving dogs at the time of your grandmother's death, the $10 million will go to a local organization. In the index, we come across Charitable Trusts Creation, Section 323. Now, when we open the volume that has Section 323, we see the section heading, but the text under that looks like footnotes. This is because the previous section, 322, has so many footnotes they are bleeding onto the next page. That's okay, we just need to turn the page in the book, and then we see the beginning of the text for Section 323. It's just something to keep in mind when using books for research. The information will all be there, but the formatting might be different than how you would see things presented on a computer screen. Remember, if the book has a pocket part, any section you look at in the main volume, you will also need to check the pocket part to see if there are any additional updates. In this situation, another case citation was added to Section 323 in the pocket part. Uniform Laws Annotated. This is a multi-volume set published by Thomson Reuters West. This set is updated annually, but in print form, our last update was in 2023. Because it is published by West, you will be able to use Westlaw to see if there are any updates to the parts of the set past 2023. We'll talk more about Westlaw for research in a future video. So what are uniform laws? Uniform laws are language for suggested laws created by organizations called the National Conference of Commissioners on Uniform State Laws and the American Law Institute. State legislators decide to introduce and pass these laws. They can choose to use the recommended language, or they can adjust the proposed language to fit their needs. States are not required to use these laws, but for those who do, it provides some level of uniformity among the states. This set discusses these uniform laws, provides information on the individual state legislative acts used to adopt these laws, and discusses any variations of the laws. Uniform laws cover a broad range of subjects, such as commercial code, nonprofit organizations, estate and probate laws, family and health laws, and more. For our research problem, there are uniform laws regarding probate. They are not really applicable to our research question, but I want to point out some quirks you may see when using books to conduct research. Again, I use the index to try to find any applicable information in the set of books. Using my list of terms, I come across section 2-905 that I want to look at. When I went to the print book, I found section 2-902 and then the next section was 2-1001. Where is section 2-905? In this instance, the print books left a space in the numbering system to allow for the addition of content in the future. In the pocket part, we find the addition for section 2-905. This means right now, section 2-905 only exists in the pocket part. Eventually, the publisher will incorporate this text into the main volume of the book. As you do more book research, you may find other examples of how print research can be different than digital research. We have several Florida-specific treatises that may aid you in your research. The Florida Practice Series is a softbound series that provides information on many subjects in Florida law. These subjects range from Florida Appellate Practice to Florida DUI Handbook to Florida Elder Law and more. Because the subjects are so specific, the Law Library has split out the series by subject area, so when browsing the shelves, you will see volumes shelved with like books. This makes them more findable for the researcher. These books are very useful because they provide Florida-specific examples and information. Since they are softbound, they do not have pocket parts. Generally, the books are updated with a new edition each year. If you do not have a citation already, you will use the index in your list of terms to find the information you need. The Florida Law of Trusts, part of the Florida Practice Series, is a one-volume and updated annually. The series is published by Thomson Reuters West, so the information will also be available in Westlaw. This book covers trust laws in Florida, including rules, statutes, and case law. It covers the creation of a trust and the capacity of trustee, powers and duties and liabilities of trustees, and more. Because the book can stand alone, it has an individual index in the back of the book. Looking at the index, there is section 16.4, Trust to Provide for Care of Animal. The Florida Estates Practice Guide is a set that covers Florida estates in detail. This includes information on drafting probate documents, information on contesting wills, estate taxes, and more. It offers sample forms for many probate situations. The set is several binders. When updating binders, outdated pages are removed and new pages are inserted. Usually the front or back of a binder set will have information regarding the last update. Since this is a LexisNexis title, this information will not be in Westlaw. So, you were working on our research problem. Perhaps you wondered if your great-grandmother's free-spirited request could be an issue regarding the validity of the will. In the index, under Capacity to Execute Wills, you see a subheading, Eccentric Behavior, Section 8.22, Subsection 3, Subsection F. If you find this section in the appropriate binder, you will learn more. There's one more book that may be worth looking at, Administration of Trusts in Florida. This is an in-depth discussion of the Florida Trust Code. It is updated by the publication of new editions. Since this title is published by LexisNexis, we will not have a digital version of this book. You will need to use the print resources to find the information contained within. In this index, there is a listing for animals, trust for, section 18.5.b. Looking at the entry, you will eventually see information regarding animal trusts. Most of our collection contains treatises. I encourage you to visit our library and browse our shelves. Not all treatises are published by Thomson Reuters West, which means much of the information in our collection will not be available via Westlaw. The print resources will be the only way to find information within these titles. There are many interesting subjects and titles and provide information for those doing research and for those who are just curious about the law. Join us for our next video, which will cover statutes.